Everyone, Al DeCarlo alongside Tommy Moser. Glad you could join us here from Catasauqua. We expect a great matchup between these two teams. You're watching our D11Sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. And Tommy, these two teams met earlier this year, and Salisbury got the best of them by a bunch. This could be a little bit different tonight.
They did tonight. We're on the Rough Riders' home floor. Coach Snyder, the veteran coach, these two have gone at it many times over the years. They need wins to get in districts, and they're looking at tonight as an opportunity.
Let's talk about Jason Weaver and the Salisbury Falcons, a record of 5-5 in league play, 7-7 overall. He's in his 12th year. They're coming off a loss against Southern Lehigh. One of his key players is Trey Weber.
Weber's versatile. He can take it inside. He can score from the perimeter. Also averages almost five rebounds a game, so he's a do-it-all guy for Coach Weaver.
Well, for Catasauqua, the veteran head coach, Eric Snyder, they say he's been here for 28 years. It feels like maybe 50, but don't tell him that. He's coming off a win against Northwestern, 66-61. His go-to player is Derek Troxel.
Troxel, only a junior, but averaging 15 a game. Very impressive. Does most of his damage driving to the basket, shoots a high percentage of free throws, and shoots it very well from the line. So he's going to look to get going tonight for the Rough Riders.
Well, expect a good matchup between Catasauqua and Salisbury. It's your D11Sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. Next.
Since 1919, the name Reichenbach Oil has been synonymous with reliability and community. That's because for the past 100 years, we've been delivering heating oil to Lehigh Valley homes at ultra-competitive pricing 7 days a week, with auto delivery and easy payment options to fit your needs. And we offer same-day delivery. When you need oil delivered, think Reichenbach. 100 years of serving the Lehigh Valley community. Reichenbach Oil, delivery you can count on.
Concussions are serious. 3 million sport, recreation, and auto accident-related concussions happen each year. 20% of high school athletes who play contact sports will suffer a concussion during the season. St. Luke's is the region's leader in assessing, managing, and treating concussions in athletes and non-athletes of all ages. Our multi-specialty teams of experts collaborate to care for you using the latest treatment options. Don't play head games, take concussion seriously. Call St. Luke's to schedule an appointment with one of our concussion experts. Are you searching for a place where you belong? Where your fitness matters? Regardless of what shape you're in, St. Luke's Fitness and Sports Performance Centers have a professional team that will help you meet or exceed your fitness goals. With locations throughout the region and nationally recognized fitness experts, you'll become a member of a supportive fitness community. We call it Extraordinary Fitness. Visit us online to start your free 7-day membership and let us help you thrive.
Hall of Fame pitcher Steve Carlton knows what it takes to exceed expectations. He knows what it means to be part of a team that rises above the competition. He knows a champion. Steve Carlton knows St. Luke's Orthopedic Care.
Concussions are serious. 3 million sport, recreation, and auto accident-related concussions happen each year. 20% of high school athletes who play contact sports will suffer a concussion during the season. St. Luke's is the region's leader in assessing, managing, and treating concussions in athletes and non-athletes of all ages. Our multi-specialty teams of experts collaborate to care for you using the latest treatment options. Don't play head games, take concussion seriously. Call St. Luke's to schedule an appointment with one of our concussion experts. Concussions.
St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Extraordinary care in motion.
On the sideline by Amber Calanis. Amber Calanis is our student reporter from Catasauqua, and she is joining us here tonight as well. We'll get to her in just a second. We talked about the matchup today. It should be an intriguing matchup between these two teams, without question.
Yeah, again, as we talked about in the open, Salisbury got the best of Caddy the first time out, but I would expect a much more competitive game tonight. And Coach Snyder's going into this one expecting a W, and at the very least, a very close game.
All right, with that, let's go down to our sideline reporter, and here's Amber.
I'm here for D11, and I talked to both coaches before the game for the Rough Riders. Caddy had a great game over Northwestern Lehigh on Saturday. Derek Troxel scored 27 points, so they definitely want to try to keep up that momentum and stay consistent and just have a great game like they did on Saturday. They want to try and block the three-point shooters that Salisbury is known to have, and they just want to have a great game and try to redeem themselves from the 64-33 loss that they had the first time they met. For Salisbury, they want to keep up the momentum from the last game, and they just want to keep playing. You really have to watch out for Patrick Foley. He's one of their most consistent shooters, and he watches them and stuff. And they just don't want to give up, and they just want to keep up the momentum throughout the whole game and just keep going and try not to let the Roughs come back and steal this one from them, and just keep up the momentum from the first game. And that's it, so I'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Amber, thanks a lot. Great job on the sideline. We expect some good things from her as well throughout the night. Bringing in our keys to the game between these two teams. And obviously, it's going to be an interesting matchup between these two teams coming in the first, few minutes of the contest as well, as we get ready for the matchup between Salisbury and Catasauqua. Again, the first meeting went to Salisbury handily. Actually, we'll wait for those keys to the game as we get our first timeout of the night. We are underway from Catasauqua. And it's going to be the Salisbury Falcons to control things to start things off.
Looks like the Roughies setting up in a 2-3 zone.
Outside is Trey Weber. Again, the biggest concern was those threes inside. That shot off the side of the rim, no good. And then the rebound in there for Joseph Panarello.
One of the keys for Coach Snyder that we'll get to in a second was rebounding. When you're sitting in that zone, you don't have a man to box out, so it's a little more difficult to grab those rebounds, and there's an offensive rebound to start the game.
Rough Riders want to get up to a quick start in this contest tonight. After what happened the first game, they were down handily in the first quarter of play. Nice feed inside. Actually, that one bounced away and taken away here by Salisbury. Through traffic and spinning, got too far underneath the basket, but they get the ball back. Here's the three. That shot is no good off the front of the rim, and the rebound goes to the hands of Damian DiPaolo. Length of the floor the other way. Ball trickles away. A couple chances here for Catasauqua to pick it up. They'll reset the offense.
Weaver starting out in his typical aggressive man-to-man for Salisbury. Coach Snyder and Catasauqua often employing a free-flowing offense, letting his players make plays. But a couple turnovers here to start.
Stopping and popping from 13. That one no good. Ball loose and picked up and almost a throwaway. These passes are not getting crisply, and I just said that, for Catasauqua here in the early going. Coach Snyder talking about his outside threat, and they're not going to hit that many threes. They're going to have to attack the interior.
Yeah, looking at the stats, there are not a lot of Catasauqua Rough Riders with double-figure makes from the three-point line, so they are going to have to do their damage from the inside.
Spin move in the paint. That one no good. A rebound goes to Troxel. Will come the other way here in the early going. 5:41 on the clock. Opening quarter of action. Glad you could join us here on D11sports.com. Up top through traffic is DiPaolo. DiPaolo lost the handle, gets it right back. Tommy, talk about the tempo so far. Who's it favoring? That ball is going to be short off the hands of Gideon McKenzie.
Well, I've seen Coach Snyder's teams play hundreds of times. They like to get up and down, not force shots, but not necessarily work the clock. You see them looking to push on makes or misses, grabbing rebounds and pushing up the floor, as you're seeing right here by number 11, Damian DiPaolo. So to be held scoreless for 3 minutes, Coach Snyder not going to be happy about some of the possessions they've had so far.
Damian DiPaolo, 2 shots.
As you take a look at the replay.
This quarter brought to you by Reichenbach Oil Company, celebrating over 100 years of providing the Lehigh Valley with convenient and reliable home heating oil delivery. Proud to support all District 11 athletics. Mention you heard us on D11 Sports game broadcast and receive $25 off your next oil delivery. We welcome Reichenbach Oil to our D11 Sports team.
Fantastic to have Reichenbach aboard as DePaulo makes 1 of 2. Little token pressure by Caddy, easily broken by Salsbury.
So Panarello has both. He's got 4.
Well schooled right there are the Falcons against some zone pressure. Another turnover.
Yeah, got to be a concern for Coach Snyder. You see him shaking it. The sleeves are already starting to go up for Coach Snyder. 3rd turnover already for the Rough Riders. And from the outside, popping home to 3 is Kenyo Herrera. That's his 4th 3-pointer of the season.
So you talked about the first meeting between these two teams, Al, a 30-point victory for Salisbury. And as you see Schiffer driving in, drawing some contact, that's going to play with the minds of Catasauqua. As we look at the replay here, Herrera knocking down the 3-ball, just too wide open. The slides and the zone defense aren't there. But if you're Catasauqua, that's going to play on your psyche. You don't want to face a deficit early in this game after knowing what happened a month ago when you played these very guys.
So Schiffer to the free throw line. Misses on the first. Schiffer, a 66% free throw shooter. Second one off the mark.
You got to take advantage of the freebies. You're 1 for 4 from the foul line here in the early going.
Caddy still looking for their first basket of the night. They stay inside, can't convert, and the ball goes off, and it goes over to Troxel. Troxel coming off a game high. Is this one coming right into our living room? 27 points against Northwestern.
Did you hear young man there, Al? Said he did not want to interrupt our broadcast.
He did not.
That was very gentlemanly of him.
That was very nice. You would have done nothing but the sort.
I might have knocked the ball over here to see if you caught it.
Just for spite. There's a short jumper, and that is good by Gideon McKenzie, the senior forward.
Nice touch by McKenzie, 15 feet. Took a 3 earlier. That might be more in his range.
.322 on the clock. You're watching our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. Outside 3. That one does not drop by Quentin Stevens. Ball loose underneath. And another rebound by Troxel. Troxel doing a great job on the rebounding edge to this point.
We get a look at the replay there. McKenzie, the short baseline jump shot, gets Caddy off the schneid from the field. And you mentioned it, Al, that's probably 4 or 5 defensive rebounds already for Derek Troxel. Someone's going to have to help him out on the glass for Caddy.
Three minutes on the clock, 7-3 is your score. Nice feed underneath. And get a whistle and a foul.
Great pass right there by Troxel. Scoring 15 a game. He has not taken a shot yet, so that tells you a little bit about that young man. Very unselfish, and right there made a great pass. Wrights just took his time, wasn't ready for the pass maybe, and did draw the foul.
Nice feed down underneath. Spin move in the paint, and dropping home the 2 is Ty Wrights.
That time Wrights was ready for it. He flashed across the lane, had his hands ready, did a nice little pivot, turned towards the middle, and knocked in the 8-footer.
So just like that, 7-1 lead goes to 7-5, and that one rims out, will not drop, however, for Trey Weber. He'll get another opportunity here. Nice feed down underneath off the window to Quinn Wormkessel for the deuce.
And as I mentioned a minute ago, nobody's helping Troxel out on the boards for the Roughies. The other 4 players just kind of standing around watching him try to corral every rebound. He got his hands on that one, but Salisbury poked it free and it led to a bucket.
Down to 2 minutes on the clock here in the opening quarter of play from Catasauqua. It's a 9-5 game. And right now, Wrights is taking over the interior.
Well, Wrights has some nice touch in there. That was a little baby hook flicked it right over his shoulder like you're taught.
Approaching 1:30 on the clock as that one's thrown away.
Here's the replay. Wright's good footwork and then turns, squares himself up, and pops it in from 7 feet.
I mentioned the tempo. Tempo, Tommy's favoring Catasauqua at this point.
It is. They might like to get out and run a little more. Their possessions early on were kind of flat. They seem to have found a rhythm here. They're moving much better without the ball.
That shot just inside the arc. Actually, that is a three. Troxel behind his first three of the night. And Caddy takes their first lead of the game, 10-9.
Troxel was hitting in warm-ups from the mid-range and from deep, so that's not surprising to see that one get knocked in, and we have a turnover. Here's the replay. Troxel, yes, he is behind the line, and that's nothing but net.
A 9-2 run here for Catasauqua as they trailed 7-1 to start things off. Driving through traffic, and this time Wright's from the outside on the three. That one off the mark. Final 35 seconds of the opening quarter of play from Catasauqua. Through the defense. Now in traffic in the lane. That one is no good by Chad Parton.
There's a nice board by McKenzie inside. Went up and snatched it out of the air. You want to go get rebounds, not just let them fall to you. That's a big difference. High school players have a difficult time with that concept sometimes, but McKenzie went up high to grab that one at its peak.
Final 7 ticks here, opening quarter. Driving through the lane, 1-on-4. No, too far underneath. Opportunity, a second effort. That one doesn't go. Through one from Catasauqua. 10-9 Rough Riders. Back after this, D11Sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. Back after this.
Since 1919, the name Reichenbach Oil has been synonymous with reliability and community. That's because for the past 100 years, we've been delivering heating oil to Lehigh Valley homes at ultra-competitive pricing 7 days a week, with auto delivery and easy payment options to fit your needs. And we offer same-day delivery. When you need oil delivered, think Reichenbach. 100 years of serving the Lehigh Valley community. Reichenbach Oil, delivery you can count on.
We are back, and we're second quarter. They went so fast, you didn't even get the starters in there. But you see it, Weber, Stevens, Herrero, Wormkessel, and Panarello. DePaulo, Schiffer, McKenzie, Wrights, and Troxel, the starting 5 for tonight's game. And don't think we saw a sub that whole first quarter, if I'm not mistaken.
One sub late in the quarter for Salisbury. Snyder went with the iron 5 for Caddy, and his same 5 are out there to start the second quarter.
So 10-9 is your score as we start quarter number 2 here from Catasauqua. And that one taken away. Move it up the floor. That one well off the mark. And popped to the outside, ball loose.
Miscommunication there in that opening set by Catasauqua.
This quarter brought to you by Reichenbach Oil Company, celebrating over 100 years of providing the Lehigh Valley with convenient and reliable home heating oil delivery. Proud to support all District 11 athletics. Mention you heard us on the D11 Sports game broadcast and receive $25 off your next delivery. Reichenbach Oil.
Salsbury substitution 3, Patrick Foley.
So makes the first is Quentin Stevens. Second one is good. So 2 for 2 for Stevens as we start quarter number 2.
Sub into the game for Salisbury is Patrick Foley, number 3. Actually, their leading scorer at 14 points per game, so let's see how he impacts. Nice pass.
Wow, great look down low to Wrights, and Wrights now has 6.
Wrights has been the recipient of some very good looks by Troxel. Not surprising that Derek Troxel knows how to play the game, being as though his father was an outstanding coach here for the Catasauqua girls program for many years.
He was average at best.
Average at best. You covered some of his games. Al,
Absolutely.
correct?
I remember all the games. Got deep into the states, some big games against Trinity. Yeah, he went deep into the state tournament each and every year. And Dave's, just a great guy, great friend, and he's done a great job with those teams in the past, that's for sure. Great memories, not only for him, his kids, for us as well. Wrights now has 8.
So Wrights, it doesn't look like much, but he's putting himself in a position to be a recipient of these passes by being in the proper spots on the floor, and as a result, he's got 8 points already.
And they'll swing it around, driving through and drawing some contact. You mentioned Patrick Foley. Foley, the senior guard, was a little bit under the weather and knew he was going to play tonight. But when you have 14 points and 35 three-pointers, obviously it could change here in the second quarter.
There you go. Great look at one of the buckets for Wrights this quarter on the great dish by Cole Schiffer. Keys to the game, Al. Slow down Derek Troxel, so he hasn't found his way into the scoring column with the exception of that one jump shot, but he's assisted on at least 2 or 3 passes on buckets so far. For Salisbury, they want to have open looks on offense, which they're getting. They're just not knocking enough down.
Second one good, so Quentin Stevens 4 for 4 from the free throw line and cuts the lead to 1. It's 14-13, 6:21 remaining, opening half of play. Glad you could join us on a D11sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. I want to thank Tom Moll for his hospitality. And Wrights is just having his way right now. He averages 6 points. He's got 10.
He's having a field day, and Coach Weaver is going to have to find somebody to hip him off of his spot a little bit because he's just too comfortable in there right now. He's got 10 out.
Outside 3, that one no good. And the ball loose, goes to Foley. This one about 16 feet out, and Stevens has his first basket. He's got 6.
Stevens likes that spot. He made 4 free throws from there and figured he made enough one-pointers from that spot. Let's get 2 for it.
Tommy Moll helped us out with the first broadcast. I'm wondering, wow, 8 of his 10 in this quarter. You guys have the same size differential. Who's taller, you or Tommy Moll?
Moll is the lone Lehigh Valley basketball figure. As we get a look right here, I'll get back to that in a second now. But let's look at Wrights again. Good seal, drop step, and finishes. He's on fire right now. But Tom Moll, Al, is the lone Lehigh Valley basketball figure that I cannot take down to the post and score at will on.
Really?
Yeah, I would take him outside and score on him, but he has 3 inches on me, about 6'6", 6'9" differential.
I don't know about that. I'd be surprised. Take a look at the Colonial League standings right now. Again, this is in league play. Wilson at 7-2, Moravian Academy at 7-3, Notre Dame followed by Palisades. But interesting in the West, suddenly Palmerton and then Caddy and Salisbury not only fighting for position there. Again, you start looking into who the top 6 teams are going to be, moving forward and get into the Colonial League tournament.
Yeah, so both of these teams have to feel like if they win the games that they're capable of winning down the stretch, that they will qualify for that league tournament. And Southern Lehigh at this point clearly the favorite, but we've seen in that Colonial League tournament over the years that the favorite does not always win and does not win more often than not, to be honest.
Shot for 3 is good by Foley. His first 3 and 36th of the year. We're knotted up at 18.
Dead-eye shooter is Foley, 36 threes on the year. That's a very high number at the midway point.
Caddy 8 of 15 shooting thus far. As we approach the midway point of quarter number 2. This one much different than it was the first time around.
As you knew it would be. Nice look.
And Kenyon Herrero, he's got 5.
Nice pass inside by Panarello. Found the soft spot in the zone, but you knew Catasauqua would come out with a much better effort here tonight than they put out the first time against Salisbury.
So we're right at the 4-minute mark. Driving baseline, nothing there. Cut off. And extra step.
Got to look at the replay. Nice look inside by Panarello right there. And Herrera had his hands ready, exploded to the basket and finished. Chris Rule and Kirk Gildner on the call tonight. And yes, Kirk, what do you think, Al? Is he following us around?
He's following us around. We saw him at Notre Dame. I walked in, I saw him again. I go, what are you doing? He goes, wherever you go, I'm going.
Well, we like that.
Good guy, good guy. Nice feed down underneath, waiting, assessing, can't score, but we'll go to the free throw line is Quinn Warmkessel.
So a couple things developing here as, first of all, that's going to be the second foul on Wrights as we get a look at the replay. Stevens with a nice look. So that's a couple sets in a row that with very little ball movement, Salisbury's found an opening in that zone. Of more pressing concern is that Wrights is going to have to hit the bench with 2 fouls, and he's been the source of offense for Caddy.
Yeah, has 10, 8 in this quarter, so that's a big difference. And see how it changes, or does it change here moving forward. Missed free throw, but the rebound goes right back to Salisbury. Good job by Weber. Resets the offense here for the Falcons. They lead 21-18. Again, it started 7-1 in favor of Salisbury, and a 9-2 run. In the lane, lost his traction, gets a shot off, but doesn't go for Weber, and here comes Caddy the other way. That one just knocked out completely by Quentin Stevens, showed his ups.
There it is right there. Good timing by Stevens. That's what shot blocking is all about. It's not being the tallest or swatting. It's just about timing and instinct, and Stevens displayed it right there.
Body's flopping here, going down hard. No whistles, however. That ball loose. Salisbury's hands are out. Done a good job on Troxel. Only has that 3 tonight.
Good point by you, Al. They've done a great job of defending him. Stevens has had the main task, shadowing him all over the floor.
2:45 on the clock, opening half of basketball. Again, Wright's on the sideline, back at the bench after scoring 8 of his 10. Excuse me, 8 of his 12 in this quarter. A shot off the mark. Rebound again to the Falcons, taken there by Stevens. Stevens up the floor, never stopping, has it full throttle and scores. Quentin Stevens, the length of the floor for the basket. He's got 6.
And that's going to bring a timeout by Coach Snyder. You can't let somebody dribble the length of the floor, as you're going to watch right here. So Troxel's pursuing, but then we had 3 roughies just standing there watching Stevens drive right down the lane. When you're in a zone, obviously nobody's guarding that man, but when you see him dribbling down the floor, one of the first things you're taught in basketball is you have to stop the ball. Catasauqua did not do it right there. Easy layup and timeout for Coach Snyder.
Well, we talk about a game of runs, how it was. 10-2, 23-18 is a score. It's a 10-2 run now for Salisbury.
Yeah, so one of the obvious factor would be that Wrights is on the bench, and he's been the source of offense, as we've talked about. But Salisbury's also taken advantage of some lackluster defense by Catasauqua. They're in their zone, but their hands aren't active. They're not doing a lot of talking or communicating, and as such, Salisbury's getting some open looks.
So whistle and a foul, trying to get underneath. And first trip to the free throw line, I believe it is for Cole Schiffer.
Schiffer's done that a few times. He's penetrated, found a little gap, and slithered through it.
Talked to both coaches about the free throw line, hoping to get right around the 70% at the stripe. They always have those goals. And Coach Weaver said, we just have struggled from the free throw line this year.
It's contagious when you see your teammates missing. It becomes a mental thing, and you wonder why they're not making it, and you struggle following suit.
Inside out, they'll reset the offense. Will Salsbury. It's a big Colonial League showdown game. In position, a half a game back of Caddy really for that spot for the wild card. Short jumper, that one off the side of the rim. Gets his own rebound, then lost it. Did Panarello. Nice outlet pass for the easy Pickens for DePaulo.
Very good look up the floor right there by Cole Schiffer. He's done that a few times. Led his man perfectly, and DePaulo got his feet properly set up as you get a bullet no-look pass there by Stevens, but rejected.
And then taken right back and scoring. Pickup duty there for Trey Weber.
Those are the careless ones that you can't have if you're Coach Snyder.
Back up by 4 are the Falcons. Flying through the defense and goes left. It gets a roll to Schiffer. His first basket of the game. He has 3.
Very tough finish inside by Schiffer, but that was all set up by a nice screen out front by Troxel, ball screen, and Schiffer got his way to the hole.
Long range 3 is easy for Foley.
I think we found Foley's spot on the floor, Al. That's the second one from there, and he's made him look easy.
That makes it a 5-point game. Thought about it. Now reassesses, drives inside, will kick it out. The runner in the lane, that one doesn't go. Can't fall for Jacob Smith with 25 ticks on the clock. Had a chance to talk to Kevin Foley prior to the game. Always nice to see Kevin hanging around.
Longtime area coach. So we have coaches' sons on both sides of the floor here.
Driving through. Looks at the clock, 3 seconds on it. In the lane, and the basket is good by Foley. Assessed by looking at the crowd, and that ends up being a 7-point lead, 30-23 after the basket by Foley. So Foley, back-to-back baskets. 30-23 in favor of Salisbury. We'll be back with our D11Sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine.
Concussions are serious. 3 million sport, recreation, and auto accident-related concussions happen each year. 20% of high school athletes who play contact sports will suffer a concussion during the season. St. Luke's is the region's leader in assessing, managing, and treating concussions in athletes and non-athletes of all ages. Our multi-specialty teams of experts collaborate to care for you using the latest treatment options. Don't play head games, take concussion seriously. Call St. Luke's to schedule an appointment with one of our concussion experts.
St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Extraordinary care in motion.
Are you searching for a place where you belong? Where your fitness matters? Regardless of what shape you're in, St. Luke's Fitness and Sports Performance Centers have a professional team that will help you meet or exceed your fitness goals. With locations throughout the region and nationally recognized fitness experts, you'll become a member of a supportive fitness community. We call it Extraordinary Fitness. Visit us online to start your free 7-day membership and let us help you thrive.
Hall of Fame pitcher Steve Carlton knows what it takes to exceed expectations. He knows what it means to be part of a team that rises above the competition. He knows a champion. Steve Carlton knows St. Luke's Orthopedic Care.
Since 1919, the name Reichenbach Oil has been synonymous with reliability and community. That's because for the past 100 years, we've been delivering heating oil to Lehigh Valley homes at ultra-competitive pricing 7 days a week, with auto delivery and easy payment options to fit your needs. And we offer same-day delivery. When you need oil delivered, think Reichenbach. 100 years of serving the Lehigh Valley community. Reichenbach Oil. Delivery you can count on.
We are back. It's halftime here, and it is 30-23 in favor of Salisbury, Tommy. And, you know, you look at the first half, and we go to 7-1 to start. Then all of a sudden a 9-2 run by Catasauqua. They led 10-9 after 1 quarter of play. And then you got a 10-2 run, and right now you're back up to a 7-point lead. So it's really been going back and forth. But you look at that 7, the biggest concern for Coach Snyder is the start of that third quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. When you come out to start that third quarter, the next run is going to be instrumental. If it's Salisbury, you're going to have a tough time coming back in this one if you're Coach Snyder and the Roughies. If it's Catasauqua, you're going to have a nip and tuck ball game for the last 12 minutes. So whose run is next?
Your thoughts of how the Falcons played, especially, when, again, Patrick Foley did not play the first quarter, inserted, buries 2 threes, hit that shot at the end. He's got 8 points right now. He is their leading scorer, and he's doing a good job of that. He's tied with Quentin Stevens right now in that category.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. Foley did not play in the first 8 minutes, didn't start the second quarter either. He came in with about 6 to go in the half. He didn't force the action. He let it come to him, passed it, got himself used to the game situations for a minute or so, knocked a couple threes in that were right on, made a couple plays elsewhere on the floor, and got the bucket at the end of the half. So he's got to be feeling himself right now, and he's got 8 points, which is a big plus for Coach Weaver off the bench. Stevens has been all over the place. He's made some great passes. He's knocked a couple shots and he's rebounded the ball. And most importantly, he's played incredible defense the entire half on Derek Troxell.
Dave Micah's halftime numbers. Free throws 5 for 6 for Salisbury, just 1 for 6 for Catasauqua, something he definitely addressed to us before the game. They have to do much better from the free throw line. From behind the arc, 3 of 9 for Salisbury, 2 of 5 for Catasauqua. Overall shooting 11 of 18 for Salisbury, 10 of 18 for Caddy. And the turnovers 7 to 2, 7 for Catasauqua, 2 right now for Salisbury. But at the same time, when you look at that, those early turnovers, a problem there for Caddy, but they're still within 30 to 23.
Well, they probably had 3 or 4 of those 7 within the first few minutes of the game. So they've cleaned it up since then, and that enabled them to go on a couple of those runs that had them in front or within a basket or two. Down the stretch, it was just a couple shots made by Salisbury. And the other thing that we didn't really address here at halftime is that Wrights was on fire in the second quarter. He has 12, correct, Al? And he sat the last 4 minutes and a half with 2 fouls. So obviously Coach Laner's going to look to get him involved again, and Coach Weaver's going to have to figure out a way to defend Wrights inside.
Yeah, you bring Wrights on one side, and then on the other side, you see it Foley. The scoring right now, Foley has 8, 2 points for Weber, 8 points for Stevens, 5 points for Herrera, 3 points for Warmcastle, and Panarello has 4. Panarello actually hit back-to-back shots at one point in the game. For DePaulo, he's got 3 points for Schiffer. Gideon McKenzie has a deuce, 12 points, 8 of those of the 12 coming by Wrights, and 3 points for Derek Troxell, coming off a game high and a season high, and then maybe a career high, I believe, too, 27 against Northwestern the other night. And again, Eric Snyder's team right now 6-7 and 5-4, and as we look forward to this team, what they're capable of doing, both of these teams really have to win a number of their games to get into the district play or get into the tournament as well.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit as the second half develops here, but time's running short for these two squads, both hovering around the 500 mark. They're going to have to scrape some wins together to get themselves into the postseason, which is where they both want to wind up.
You're watching our D11sports.com game of the week, presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. And we will be right back at it on Friday night. Nazareth against Bethlehem Catholic girls action in one of the premier games of the year. The defending state champions in Bethlehem Catholic against Nazareth team that has just one loss on the year.
Yeah, that's an outstanding game. I don't know how we got that one scheduled. That should be a sellout crowd, a great crowd. Great job by you and D11 Sports getting that one on the schedule, Al, because those are two of the best teams in the state. Becca probably the favorite to win in their classification with some absolutely outstanding talent. And Coach Rich Bickert and Nazareth and the Lady Blue Eagle program has been one of the premier programs as well in the last 10 years in our area. So that should be an outstanding basketball game.
We're at the half right now. 30-23 is your score. We'll be back with our D11sports.com game of the week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine right after this.
Since 1919, the name Reichenbach Oil has been synonymous with reliability and community. That's because for the past 100 years, we've been delivering heating oil to Lehigh Valley homes at ultra-competitive pricing 7 days a week, with auto delivery and easy payment options to fit your needs. And we offer same-day delivery. When you need oil delivered, think Reichenbach. 100 years of serving the Lehigh Valley community. Reichenbach Oil, delivery you can count on.
Concussions are serious. 3 million sport, recreation, and auto accident-related concussions happen each year. 20% of high school athletes who play contact sports will suffer a concussion during the season. St. Luke's is the region's leader in assessing, managing, and treating concussions in athletes and non-athletes of all ages. Our multi-specialty teams of experts collaborate to care for you using the latest treatment options. Don't play head games, take concussion seriously. Call St. Luke's to schedule an appointment with one of our concussion experts.
We are back here at Catasauqua High School. Al DiCarlo, Tom Moser, Amber Calamus, our student reporter from Catasauqua doing a fine job. We'll hear from her in a little bit as she's talking to both coaches. And, our D11 sports program continues to grow each and every day. And we want to thank our student reporters doing a great job. They're out and about and doing their, some good things, doing some good things each and every time out there. And, I watch the stories and see the articles. And, we're out there. And, Dave does a great job of monitoring that as well. And, and working with the players. And I think it's been tremendous so far what they've done to us to this point.
Yeah, it is incredible with very few schools in the area offering courses on this stuff, Al, and that's how we got this program going to begin with. You did a great job of talking to schools and finding prospective broadcast or journalist students moving forward. So to get them involved and the work that they're doing has been awesome so far.
Yeah, and we're just seeing other players at the same time with it. So right now we go to Amber Calna. She has talked to both coaches, and let's see what you have to say.
All right, so I talked to both teams at halftime, and for Salisbury, they want to work on their defense and have better defense, and they also want to watch out for Catasauqua's number 20, Ty Wrights, because he seems to be the leading scorer right now for Catasauqua. He's been getting most of our points in. And then for Catasauqua, they want to stop the dribble penetration. They want to rebound better, and they want to be able to control the rebounds better and be able to have more control of it so they can get back into this game. And that's all I have from the coaches, so I'll send it back over to you guys.
All right, Amber, great job. Thanks a lot. We'll hear from her a little bit later on as well as we get ready for the third quarter. What did you take from what she said about the coaches?
So one of the things, without saying it directly, what I took from what Coach Snyder said is controlling some of those rebounds. You saw a few possessions where they had hands on rebounds or kind of let them fumble away and easy bucket because you were careless with the ball after you should have had a rebound secured. And those little baskets are the ones that drive you nuts as a coach.
Well, the turnover to start things off for Salisbury. Not the way you want to start things off, and it's Wright's right back at it for two more.
Well, I was going to point out, let's see what kind of adjustments these coaches make at halftime. And obviously Coach Snyder's telling his players, feed the big man because he is hungry and he's on fire. And when you're hungry, Al, you eat.
Oh, I'm hungry right now. Well, I have nothing to eat.
Well, Wrights is eating. He's feasting inside.
That shot from the outside, no good. Wrights goes up and gets a rebound as well.
Well, I think you see this young man's confidence soaring and developing here as a 6'4 junior. He's up to 14 points right now. I would venture a guess that that's probably his career high. And you may look back on this game in a year from now and say this was the game that got him going.
All right, so with that said, driving the lane and getting fouled is Derek Troxel, another guy, while Wrights is doing all the work. Troxel, this is a spot where he can get his rhythm back.
So if you're Coach Snyder and you're down 7 at the half, one positive is that your go-to guy only has 2 points. 2 points at the half, correct, Al? Three. So you're feeling but when Troxel gets rolling, we're going to be right in this thing, and that's what you do. As you pointed out, you attack the basket and you try to get to the line.
30-27, a lead of 7, cut down to 3 here in the opening minute of play in the third quarter. That one gets cut off and almost thrown away, and actually it is picked off. Thought that was going to trickle out of bounds, but taking that one away is DiPaolo. They'll send this to the corner. Here's a 3, would be huge, but won't fall for McKenzie. And we get a whistle on DiPaolo, I believe.
Yeah, Stevens got a little incidental whack there in the back of the head.
I asked you a question, Mr. Moser.
I'm always ready to answer.
All right, you got to answer correctly, though. That's the only thing.
I didn't tell you. I give you the correct answer.
Here's a jumper from 15. That one doesn't go. Ball loose. Wrights rips that one down. And resets as he gets over to Troxel. Gets that in a second. Troxel with the kick out. Now driving baseline. Nothing there. That one cut off. And a good job defensively. They're trying to take that one away. They stay with it, however. Spin move in the paint. Oh, that looked smooth. Just could not convert was Ty Wright. But, boy, that looked pretty impressive. And lost a handle. And it remains Salisbury basketball. Coach Snyder has been the head coach for the Catasauqua Rough Riders for 28 years. Who did he replace? Ding dong,
Do I get a hint, DeCarlo?
Yes, it was not Ron Hassler. That was earlier.
I was going to say Ron Hassler, but I thought Hassler was mid-'80s.
Yes, that's correct.
So I'm missing the man in the middle of Hassler.
I will give you another
Snyder.
hint, by the way. I'll give you another hint. I mean, I don't like giving you hints.
Here's the replay. DePaulo gets the 50-50 call, and he'll shoot two.
All right, you ready for another hint?
Please.
This is ridiculous. I got to give you so many hints.
I pride myself on trivia. This one has me stumped.
He is coaching today, and he's coaching in the Colonial League as a head coach. That's it. I'm giving you nothing else. Second one is no good. I can tell you're stymied. Basket is up.
I'm
McKenzie.
I'm going to cheat and get it by default in about 2 minutes, but I'm upset that I can't figure it out right now. McKenzie there using his body to shield off the defender, and we have the first 7 out of the gate here by Caddy.
Yep.
I just got the answer.
Oh, wow. He got the answer. And the answer is?
Steve Gabrilik.
Steve Gabrilik is correct. Are they talking in your ear or what?
No.
You actually remember that.
I did.
Outlet pass. And outside, thinking about it again, was McKenzie. The little floater, and they'll call this one on McKenzie, much to the dismay of Eric Snyder. And I do have to mention that I also guessed Ron Hassler. That was brought to me earlier today by Eric Snyder. And I was very unhappy that I got it wrong. So I'm exactly what you said, except you just embarrassed yourself on the air because you had no clue.
I did embarrass myself on the air. I'm not ashamed to be embarrassed, but great trivia question by Snyder. Great job also by Warmkessel stepping in and taking a charge. In the meantime, this half, Al, Wrights not only has a bucket, but he has 2 rebounds and a block shot, as he is just beaming with confidence right now. And as a result, Catasauqua has tied it up and is very close to taking the lead.
As Schiffer gets hacked as he goes up. We'll have to earn it from the free throw line.
Personal foul, Quentin Stevens.
Here you get a look at the replay. Great outlet pass, pushing the ball up the floor. There's the old Euro step by Schiffer. Doesn't get the roll, but gets the first free throw.
You like that Euro step or no?
I'm torn on it. I mean, I don't dislike it. If you do it effectively, it's unique.
How about the Al step? I take like 4 or 5 and go in. And I double dribble a couple times. This quarter brought to you by Reichenbach Oil Company, celebrating over 100 years of providing the Lehigh Valley with convenient and reliable home heating oil delivery. Proud to support all District 11 athletics. Mention you heard us on the D11 Sports game broadcast and receive $25 off your next delivery. Reichenbach Oil Company.
Did you call it the Al step when you take a few extra steps?
Yeah, is that not good?
Well, I was going to call it the NBA. I mean, that's what they do in the NBA.
Okay.
They just make up their own rules and call what they want to call.
So you're not a fan,
I mean, I'd rather watch the game in its purest form, high school and college athletics, Al.
There you go. So 14 for Wrights to lead the way. Patrick Foley in the third quarter has yet to score. He's got 8 points, and they all came in that second frame. And if you're talking about Derek Troxel, he's just got that lone 3 plus the 2 free throws. Salisbury at the gate here in the third quarter, a concern for Jason Weaver. 3 turnovers here in the early going. That's the reason why there's an 8-0 run.
And that's why you saw the timeout by Weaver. Not happy with his troops' energy level here to start the third quarter. Let's see how they respond.
That one no good. Five minutes on the clock. Salisbury looking for their first bucket as we're inside 3 minutes into the third quarter.
So I'd like to see Salisbury run something here to get Foley a look. Caddy sitting in their zone. Get some ball movement and player movement as you see a travel.
And another turnover, make it 4. (31-30) Catasauqua. Inside, nice look to Wright, but just can't convert.
And he just rushed that one a little bit, but lost, and that was another fantastic pass by Derek Troxel.
Foley thought about it, now drives that ball taken away, but they retain a possession. And we'll regroup here at the midway point of quarter number 3. Still looking for their first points of the third. Great movement of the basketball and finally into the hands of Joe Panarello.
Yeah, Warmkessel with the dish right there, and that's because Panarello moved without the ball against the zone defense, got himself open, and 4-point swing there as Wrights missed the bunny on one end and the Falcons converted theirs on the other end, and as a result, Salisbury takes a lead. Here's the pass right here. Great cut by Panarello.
32-31, Salisbury leading. Wrights. No. Ball loose. Salisbury with the rebound. Once and done for Catasauqua, and we'll go the other way.
You see the Rough Rider zone here. Not a lot of movement and activity by the defenders. A lot of hands down. You want to see those hands up and out, making it difficult.
Baseline jumper doesn't go. The rebound won't go as well. That one knocked away 3 times, and the no-look pass down underneath counted for Panarello on the pass by Pat Foley.
So Foley hasn't had any open looks this quarter, but he found a way to get involved right there with an assist.
So Salisbury just like that, up by 3. Thought about it. 2:30 on the clock. Through a seam. And then a whistle away from.
Here's the offensive rebound. Doesn't go. Volleyballed out. And then Foley with the quick one-touch pass to Panarello. He's been on the receiving end of a few nice looks tonight.
(34-31). That one taken right back. In the lane, off the window is Schiffer. He's got 6.
Schiffer's played a nice floor game, only 6 points, but he's been all over the place. He kept that play alive right there as it was basically a jump ball with Foley, and he came down with it, tipped it to himself, and then drove the lane for the deuce.
Inside 2 minutes, that one trickles out.
As you get a look here, so Troxel throws it up. That's basically a jump ball, and Schiffer comes down with it and floats it in for 2.
Falcons looking to inbound. That ball knocked away, and Caddy gets another one. Another turnover for Salisbury. And driving through, that's their 6th turnover in this half. Nice look down underneath, unselfishness, and the basket to Wrights.
Very nice pass by Jacob Smith. As you mentioned now, unselfish. Smith had a little 5-foot floater and dished it underneath to Wrights for 2. As he acknowledges him here down at the other end and says, great pass.
Now, speaking of great pass, that one, no look underneath, but that was taken away from Kenyo Herrera. Can't convert. The other side was DePaulo, and now it's starting to open up just a little bit with 1:18 on the clock through the lane. That's Foley, too hard off the glass, ball loose. Picked up here by Catasauqua. The baseball pass up to DePaulo, and DePaulo glides through and scores.
End-to-end action here, and the Rough Riders convert.
So Caddy back up, this time by 3. Boy, back and forth. Totally different game than the first one, but both coaches expected that.
We're on an extended seesaw here, Al. Not 2 and 2, but like 4 points, 4 points. We're exchanging little runs.
Feed down off the baseline, and just cannot get the roll. Salisbury again, second effort here on this drive down. Good possession. Eyes up at 3. That one no good. taken by Caddy. Again, the outlet pass is DePaulo wide open again and goes in for 2 more. 5 1/4 for DePaulo. He's got 8.
Well, he runs the floor well. He leaks out. Snyder's sending his guys, and Salisbury's not responding. They're not reacting. You need to have a guard back to cut that off, and that's going to be something Weaver tells his charges after this third quarter.
So Caddy jumped out with an 8-0 run to tie the game up at 30-30. Then Salisbury took over to take the lead, up by 3, and now Catasauqua right back in the mix, and they're up by 5. .4 seconds remaining. Goes to Foley. Foley hand in the face, that one off the mark. And the Rough Riders lead 39-34 after 3. As you take a look at the last play, as we go to the break, good job there by DePaulo scoring 39-34 your score. You're watching our D11sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. Back after this.
St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Extraordinary care in motion.
Since 1919, the name Reichenbach Oil has been synonymous with reliability and community. That's because for the past 100 years, we've been delivering heating oil to Lehigh Valley homes at ultra-competitive pricing 7 days a week, with auto delivery and easy payment options to fit your needs. And we offer same-day delivery. When you need oil delivered, think Reichenbach. 100 years of serving the Lehigh Valley community. Reichenbach Oil, delivery you can count on.
We are back, getting ready to start quarter number 3, brought to you by Reichenbach Oil Company, celebrating over 100 years of providing the Lehigh Valley with convenient and reliable home heating oil delivery. Proud to support all District 11 athletics. Mention you heard us on the D11 Sports Game broadcast and receive $25 off of your next oil delivery. Reichenbach Oil, 39-34. Tommy, your thoughts through 3 quarters of play?
Well, Weaver was not happy with the effort of his squad in much of that quarter. Caddy, meanwhile, got out and ran, and here we go again. DePaulo's been all over the floor.
DePaulo's spin move, but he just got too far off the basket. He thought he got tagged. That's a walk unless they call a foul before they do.
But Salisbury's going to have to stop the transition of the Rough Riders. And on the other end, they just need some better movement offensively. They've been pretty stagnant. They should have figured out the zone defense of Catasauqua by now, and they really haven't exploited it much lately at all.
So 39-34. Again, the first meeting between these two teams, it was 64-33. That was back on December 11th.
And Weber's been very quiet tonight for Salisbury. We featured him in the open. He has been very quiet, had a couple turnovers. Nice pass right there by Troxel, but McKenzie cannot finish. Salisbury the other way.
To the corner, spin move. That one does not fall. And looking for our first points here of the third quarter. Through 3, DePaulo has 8, 6 points for Schiffer, 4 points for McKenzie, 16 for Wrights, and 5 for Troxel. That one just taken straight away. They'll battle for it. We'll get a jump, I believe. Possession hour to the Rough Riders. Foley has 8, all coming in the second quarter. Weber with 2. 8 points for Stevens, 7 points for Herrera, 3 points for Warmkessel, and Panarello has 8.
That probably should have been a double dribble. We didn't have it called.
About a minute and a half in, almost 2 minutes in, and still looking for our first basket. Wide open look at a three. Cut! Cole Schiffer.
The half-court offense has not been outstanding for Caddy tonight. It's been a lot of transition with the exception of Wrights inside, but they will take that three ball, and they have Salisbury on the ropes right now.
Up by 8. This is the biggest lead of the game for Catasauqua. There's a three, and answering on the other side is Weber. You mentioned he's been quiet, and he answers you with his 14th three-pointer of the season.
Much needed. Someone must have told him that I said he had been quiet because that was at a very crucial time for his squad.
Down to 5:20 on the clock. Troxel. Tough night for Troxel right now. In transition. Good job of getting up and drawing some contact was Kenyo Herrero. Herrera goes to the free throw line where he's at 82%, 9 of 11.
Nice look, Panarello, just a little off balance, but Herrera cleaning up the miss as Troxel and Wrights were not down the floor yet. You mentioned Coach Gabrielic, Al, and I see him standing over in the corner.
I thought it was him as well, and I'm not sure because they have a game tonight, so I thought it was him. And I looked over, I go, maybe it definitely looks like him. Am I correct? I thought it was 100% him.
Well, that makes 200% between the two of us as both free throws are knocked in by Herrera.
I was going to actually tell you that. 7 of 8, Salsbury for the free throw line. Yeah, you're right. I knew I wasn't crazy.
Wrights, the recipient of a nice dish by DePaolo.
(44-39). And Tommy, I thought I was seeing things. I wasn't sure. I'm like, that's definitely him, and I wasn't sure, but yes, it is. From the corner for three, no. Ball loose. Wrights had it, lost it. They'll get it right back again. Caddy with the possession and to the free throw line will be Cole Schiffer. I tell you what, Cole Schiffer has had himself a pretty good game. You know, you're looking at the numbers. He's got 9, but he's been very, very productive on both ends of the floor.
I said that earlier. He's done a lot of things as you see him drive into the hole right here and drawing contact. He's played what we call a good floor game. He's just been all over the place. He's made plays. He hasn't turned the ball over. He's made some nice passes. Him and DePaolo out front have both had a major impact for Catasauqua.
If we ask Coach Gabrielic that trivia question, would he have it right?
Yes. I had to think for a second. But, here we get a look at the replay from a couple sets ago. There's the great pass. And Wrights, remember the very first possession of the game? Troxel fed him nicely. He wasn't ready, and he drew a foul but could have scored. Ever since then, he's had his hands ready in a scoring position. That's why he's in upwards of close to 20 points at this stage of the game.
So Caddy up by 7. Foley from the corner, no. Rebound by Wrights. 3:43 on the clock. There's a lot of time left, but Coach Snyder's going to start taking some time off this clock a little bit.
Well, this is always one of those quandaries that you're in as a coach. Do you play the way you've played to get to this point in the game, or do you take a little air out of the ball to try and bleed the clock and get the game over quicker? And really the only good answer, Al, is the one that wins you the game.
Smith with the basket.
Getting to be a danger zone here for the Falcons.
Back up to the biggest lead of the game, 9 for Catasauqua. Boy, this game's had it all. Both teams have led a number of times. That's going to be 3 free throws, as being fouled on the play was Weber. So he'll go to the line.
Here's a replay. Cardinal sin of basketball, 101 at my teams anyway. I think the number 1 rule is respect your teammates. Number 2 rule is don't foul a three-point shooter.
So Weber makes the first. 19 of 34 this season.
You have a team on the ropes, down 9. You're forcing a tough shot, and you're going to give them 3 freebies at the line. You're not going to block the three-point attempt in all likelihood. Just contest it. You don't need to get close enough where the official may call the foul, whether you foul him or not.
And Weber makes 2 of the 3. But the lead is 48-41. That one knocked away. So Salisbury taking advantage of the slower tempo here for Catasauqua. But there's an extra step there by Panarello.
I think he drugged the foot, but he got away with it.
48-43. The first turnover of the half for Catasauqua.
Yeah. Not sure, Al, if that was his pivot foot or he did slide it, but it wasn't called. Now we are 1 foul away from the bonus for Catasauqua.
No, Wrights there was thinking basket before he got that ball, and the defense just smothered on him and get another turnover. So Jason Weaver has his team right back in the mix, down by 5. That jumper doesn't go. Wrights has done it on both sides of the floor.
Very impressed with Wrights tonight. Close to 10 rebounds in addition to his monster offensive game. Catasauqua needs to take care of the basketball and value this possession right now.
And next foul will put them on the free throw line.
Snyder has timeouts in the bag if they get in trouble. They don't need to force a shot. As a matter of fact, I would advise no shots if I was coaching except a wide open layup.
1:37 on the clock.
Weaver calling for it now.
And driving through and try to send that one in. And all of a sudden, Salsbury will return the favor on the other side by Quentin Stevens. Wow. That just changed. Take a look.
So here you go. So DePaulo's made some great plays, but right there, you don't want to leave your feet and make a pass. Stevens has been quiet this half, but he does a great job of going coast to coast and finishing right there.
So it was 48-39 at the 3:01 mark. And since that time, 2 out of 3 free throws made. And then a basket by Panarello and a basket by Quentin Stevens cuts the lead to 3, 48-45. Hope you're enjoying our coverage of our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. Al DiCarlo, Tommy Moser, Amber Calanis, a senior here at Catasauqua, doing a great job on the sidelines. Dave Micah with us, Ari Bluestein and his team from SFBN with us as well. And we will be right back at it with the big matchup, huge matchup of the year. Nazareth Bethlehem Catholic girls Friday night at Bethlehem Catholic. It's going to be youth night there. It's going to be packed. They may let you in the gym. They may
youth
let you,
night?
Yes. You
All
can
right.
throw that in the mix too.
Well, right here, now Catasauqua, not good possessions the last couple times down the floor, and the pressure is going to get cranked up by Weaver and Salisbury right here. You're seeing it in the full court. Let's see if the Roughies can handle it. And early indications are that they cannot. Almost 3 turnovers on that set by Catasauqua. They finally did turn it over, and you're seeing a young team not being able to put a game away.
Down to 1:12 on the clock.
You don't need a 3 here if you're the Falcons. There's plenty of time left. We've seen Caddy be very careless with the ball and prone to turning it over, so you can easily go for 2s.
That 3 is well short.
Bench for Catasauqua not pleased with that non-call, but nonetheless the Falcons will inbound.
So 50.8 ticks on the clock. Off the inbound, doesn't go, but they get a whistle and a foul here on Cole Schiffer.
Personal foul, Cole Schiffer.
Oh, we talk about free throws, how big they got to be. This is where it counts now. This is Wormkessel. Wormkessel makes the first. He's only 10 of 27 before that free throw.
Here's the replay. Wormkessel gets himself in position, and Caddy falls asleep on the inbounds. 10 of 27, a poor percentage, but it matters in the fourth quarter. And Quinn, the junior, knocks the first one in.
Second one is good.
And now they can set up their pressure.
$11 of 13 free throws for Salisbury. Wow. Things have just changed here in Catasauqua, and not for the best if you're a Rough Rider fan, but for Salisbury, you're excited here. An opportunity to tie the game or take the lead with 43 ticks on the clock.
Get plenty of game left. Caddy's going to stay in their zone. Let's see what Weaver draws up. No need to hurry.
48-47. I said tie, but actually take the lead with a basket.
Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Weber? Is it going to be Foley?
Now they'll move it around to Foley. Eyes up to three. Yes! Huge bucket by Patrick Foley. His third three of the game, 38th of the season, and Salsbury has just taken a 2-point lead.
You said it, Al. This thing has turned on a dime as you get, here's the nice +1 from Weber, looked off the shot, hits Foley, who buries a three, and what a turn of events here in Catasauqua's gymnasium. The inability to handle pressure for the Rough Riders here in this last 2 minutes. I don't know that they have even gotten a shot at the rim, nor have they drawn a foul and put them on the foul line. Just turnover after turnover.
Tommy, let's go back to those three. You get fouled on the three. You were up by 9 points, 48-39. You have not scored since that time. It's an 11-0 run right now for Salisbury.
So one of the things you go through as a young team, and depending on who's on the floor at that moment, not more than one senior for Catasauqua, so they don't have a ton of experience learning how to win these kind of games. That's where the mentorship and leadership of Coach Snyder has to come into play, and his guys have just not handled the situation very well. They do have an opportunity to tie or win the game here with 18 seconds left, so let's see what Coach Snyder comes with.
.13 seconds left. 50-48. Salisbury, nice dish down underneath. Wrights, that one gets knocked away. Ball loose. Salisbury has it. They're going to have to foul. They will, and will walk the length of the floor.
That was a nice set that Catasauqua drew up right there. They got Wrights, the man who's been their go-to guy tonight, in a scoring position. There was a minimal amount of contact. As we get a look here, Schiffer's been making plays all night. The nice bounce off. Minimal contact, not enough to warrant a call with 6 seconds left in the game. And Wormkessel grabbed the rebound, and it's going to be Panarello with a chance to seal it.
Panarello in this quarter has 7. A 12-0 run. This the big one. And we'll get it. A 13-0 run. (52-48). Salisbury comes back, ends the game on a 13-0 run, and beats Catasauqua. We'll come back right after this. Your D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine.
Since 1919, the name Reichenbach Oil has been synonymous with reliability and community. That's because for the past 100 years, we've been delivering heating oil to Lehigh Valley homes at ultra-competitive pricing 7 days a week, with auto delivery and easy payment options to fit your needs. And we offer same-day delivery. When you need oil delivered, think Reichenbach. 100 years of serving the Lehigh Valley community. Reichenbach Oil, delivery you can count on.
Are you searching for a place where you belong? Where your fitness matters? Regardless of what shape you're in, St. Luke's Fitness and Sports Performance Centers have a professional team that will help you meet or exceed your fitness goals. With locations throughout the region and nationally recognized fitness experts, you'll become a member of a supportive fitness community. We call it Extraordinary Fitness. Visit us online to start your free 7-day membership and let us help you thrive.
Hall of Fame pitcher Steve Carlton knows what it takes to exceed expectations. He knows what it means to be part of a team that rises above the competition. He knows a champion. Steve Carlton knows St. Luke's Orthopedic Care.
We are back. There's your final, 52-48, a devastating loss for the Catasauqua Rough Riders as they were leading this game 48-39 with 3 minutes and 1 second on the clock. They foul on a three-point shot. He makes 2 of 3. They run out the quarter on a 13-0 run. Tommy, obviously not the way for Catasauqua to come up short. You go to 6-8 and 5-5 in league play. And for Salisbury, now 6-5 and 8-7. A big win for Jason Weaver.
You used the word devastating. I was going to come with disheartening as we get one more look at the Weber pass right here to Foley, who steps up and makes a big shot, the senior right there. But, I mean, if you're Catasauqua, you're going to watch the film of this down, in a day and point to any number of 5 plays, maybe more, that you needed to just change one of those and the outcome will be differently. And, it's going to be very frustrating for Coach Snyder. But if you're Coach Weaver, you have to be elated. You were basically dead and buried with 2 to go, and you come back and find a way to win the game. And that's going to give you guys a world of confidence moving forward.
And you mentioned they pulled the air out of the ball a little bit, trying to change the tempo. And you said sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This time it didn't.
It certainly did not. They weren't used to playing that way over the course of the game. Their half-court offense just kind of stalled. And to Salisbury's credit, they did crank up the pressure on some of those possessions, forcing Catasauqua into those mistakes.
Well, take you through the scoring here as we wait for our player of the game. And 11 points for Foley, 7 points for Weber, 10 points for Quentin Stevens, 9 points for Herrera, 5 points for Warmkessel, and Panarello finishes with a dozen to wrap up the scoring for the Salisbury Falcons. For the Rough Riders, 8 points for DePaulo, 11 points for Schiffer. Gideon McKenzie finishes with 18 points for Ty Wrights, and 5 points for Derek Troxel, below his average of 15. They did a good job with him, and he really never got himself going in this contest.
Absolutely correct, and that was a lot of the defense of Mr. Stevens, Quentin Stevens for Salisbury, defending Troxel. That was his primary goal tonight. Wrights picked up the slack, but in the end, again, there were just too many mistakes and turnovers down the stretch for Catasauqua, and this one's really going to hurt them moving forward here as they need to get 4 more wins to make the district playoffs.
Yeah, and you see what happens there. You kind of shuffle the belt, and, we talked to Coach Jason Weaver before the game. He basically told us, hey, we're half a game back, the playoff spot behind Catasauqua. We need this win, and when you're looking at it from a distance and you say, oh, well, the score's 48-39, it's in control, but then things change in time for them to recover as players that way.
Well, it's a tough one, and one thing you need is leadership. And as we kind of pointed out, not a lot of seniors on this Catasauqua team. So, what's the mood going to be like in practice tomorrow? How are the players and how the kids going to respond to Coach Snyder and the staff when they have to come back and practice? This is going to be a tough one to swallow. They probably felt like they had it in the bag. It slipped away. You need leaders at that moment to step up and be positive and encouraging to the squad. And, we'll find out if Coach Snyder has that.
Speaking of that, what about Coach Weaver? What can you say about his team, coming up, never say die attitude. I think we always talk about that. When you have that never say die attitude, you're down and out really, and all of a sudden you come back with the mix and get it done.
Yeah, a result like this is almost worth more than one win in the win column because it was so deflating and you had to feel like you didn't play well tonight, having beaten this team the first time out by 30 points. So looking like you're going to come away with a loss has to be very deflating. But then to turn it around in the last 3 minutes, it's almost worth a win and a half. And as a result, you're going to be having the most joyous 15-minute bus ride home, and your mood at practice tomorrow is going to be like, we stole one here, and we can beat anybody now after what we accomplished in the last 3 minutes of this game.
No doubt about it. Coach Jason Weaver went inside to talk to his team, obviously elated, but keeping us, from hearing his excitement, and to talk to Amber in a second. We'll keep it right here, and gives us an opportunity to talk about Friday and the opportunity to see, the defending state champions in Bethlehem Catholic against Nazareth.
So it's interesting, as we talked about this a couple broadcasts ago, Al, but these two teams will not be able to meet in districts or states, Bethlehem Catholic and Nazareth, because they're in different classifications, but they can and likely will meet in the league playoffs, possibly in the finals for the girls' EPC championship. So do both squads show their whole hand? Or because it's a regular season game, do they just kind of roll the ball out and see what happens and, let the chips fall where they may?
Well, 52-48, your final score in this one. And Amber Calanis is down talking to Coach Weaver and the player of the game, and she's down here with Patrick Foley as we go down to Amber.
All right, I'm back. I'm back now with the D11 player of the game, and that was Patrick Foley. He had 11 points, and he had the last-minute 3-point that really got the team back in action. Do you have any thoughts on the game?
It was a sloppy game, but we were still able to come out with a win, so that's really fun.
How does it feel to have that 3 that helped you guys get back in the lead?
It feels good. Just happy to help the team.
That's good. All right, he ended with 11 points, and so he is our D11 player of the game. Congratulations.
All right, Amber, thanks a lot, and see if we can get Coach Weaver behind you as well. And we'll hear from Coach Weaver at that point. Again, final score again, 52-48. Well, maybe we won't hear from Coach Weaver. All right, well, we'll hold off with Coach Weaver. We get the player of the game. Final thoughts from you.
Final thoughts, as we talked about before, such a tale of two locker rooms right now, the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, because you almost have to feel as though this is worth more than one win for Salisbury and worth more than one loss for Catasauqua, but we will take it down to Coach Weaver and Amber right now.
I'm back now with the Salisbury coach after tonight's win. What did you feel about the win tonight?
Well, we gutted one out. I was most proud of how resilient our guys were. I mean, we had a 7-point lead at the half, and then Caddy went on a great run in the third quarter. I think we got down by 9 or 10 at one point, and we didn't quit. That's the thing I'm most proud of. Was it perfect basketball? Was it real smooth? No, but we got check and we responded. Patrick hit a big shot. Joe Panarello knocking down 2 foul shots late, and got stops when we needed it, and it's a huge win for us tonight.
How was it that Foley hit that last-minute 3? Were you thrilled, or what were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, we were sort of switching some guys offensively and defensively in and out, and Quentin Stevens penetrated, kicked to him, and it was a big shot. Patrick's a great shooter. When he gets his feet set, makes big shots.
Perfect. Well, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Good luck with the rest of your season.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Amber, great job down the sidelines for us from Catasauqua. Did a fine job. That'll do it for us, for Ari Bluestein, SF Network out of Philly. They do a great job with us, and we'll be right back at it on Friday. I mean, it's gonna be an exciting matchup. We mentioned it. Thanks to Dave Micah, to Tommy Moser, and everyone here. Final score once again 52-48. Salisbury with a thrilling victory. They finished the game on a 13-0 run. For everyone here at D11sports.com, Al DeCarlo saying so long for now. We'll see you back out Friday night. Good night.